This is a very plain and simple practice where we're focusing on movement. The in-breath to open the chest very fully, the out-breath to come to forward bends and to do twisting a little bit deeper. We'll begin doing some half sun salutes. So come to standing at the front of your mat. On your in-breath, reach your arms up. Take your hands wide apart, reach back. Exhale, come to the earth. Place your hands right at your shin bones. With your knees bent, slide the hands up. And now slide the hands down toward your feet. With your knees bent, inhale, rise up. Exhale, release your hands down. We'll do 2 more half sun salutes. Inhale, reach your arms up and slightly back. Exhale, take your hands down. Touch the shins with your knees bent. Draw your awareness and your heart forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, reach your arms up and slightly back. Exhale, take your hands down. Inhale, we open up, reach back. Exhale, you close slightly as you bend your knees. Inhale, hands support you as you lengthen the spine. Exhale, you draw down. Inhale, rise up, reach up and back. Exhale, release your hands down. Now we'll combine that work of opening and closing in a half salute with some lunges. At the top of your mat, inhale, take your arms up and back. Exhale, take your hands alongside your ankles. Step your right foot back. Take your right knee to the mat. Take your hands to the top of the knee. Inhale, reach your arms up and slightly back. Exhale, take your hands to the earth. Step your back foot forward. Inhale, rise up, fullness of your inhale breath to expand. Exhale, release your hands. Inhale, again, reach up and back. Exhale, take your hands alongside your feet to step your left leg back. With your knee down, take your hands right on top of the right knee. Inhale, reach your hands up and back. Exhale, take your hands down. Step your back foot forward. Inhale, reach up, reach back. Exhale, take your hands down. We keep on building on these sun salutes. So now we'll step back to downward facing dog and we'll do a forward bend, meaning really work on your long exhale breath, and we'll do a back bend coming forward. So at the top of your mat, inhale, take your arms up and back. Exhale, take your hands alongside your feet with your knees bent to step back to downward facing dog. Pause in your downward facing dog. Bend your knees to create a little bit more lumbar curve when you lift your sit bones high. Keeping that, draw your heels toward the mat as you keep a nice elongation to the spine. On the next in-breath, come forward, draw your knees down, take your shoulders even more forward to lower yourself all the way to the mat. Once on the mat, reach your hands straight back. Have your palms face the earth, but lift your thumbs a little bit higher than your baby fingers. On the in-breath, lift your feet up, lift your heart up. Exhale, take your hands down to the mat. Come to the fingertip tops on the mat so that you can get lots of fullness and protect your wrist as you rise up to this baby cobra pose. Exhale, release down. Inhale, come back through hands and knees with your toes tucked under. Lift yourself up to downward facing dog. Breathe in this forward folding action of downward facing dog. Have your exhale be long and full. Now walk yourself up to the top of the mat. Place your hands to your low back. Rise up. Now we'll combine the lunges with your downward facing dog and cobra to come to a even fuller sun salute. At the top of the mat, inhale, reach up and back. Your exhale breath has you folding forward with the knees bent. Step your right foot back. Bring your right knee down. Lift your arms up. Take your gaze up, hands back, gaze back. Release your hands down. Step back to downward facing dog. Use the fullness of your breath to come to a more length in the back body. Explore the fullness of the breath to bend your knees, to lift your sit bones up, to just create a little bit more fullness and lengthen the back body before coming towards straight legs again. Look forward toward your hands and step your right foot forward. Bring your back knee down. Inhale, reach your arms up and back. Exhale, take your hands down. Step your back foot forward. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release your hands down. Now we'll add lunges and downward facing dog and cobra to get the fullness of the actions of our breath and the forward bends and the back bend, and to complete our sun salutes. We'll take the left leg back. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, take your hands by your ankles to step your left foot back. Take your left knee down. Take your hands right on top of the right knee. Now sweep your arms up and keep your hands wide apart as you reach back. Exhale, take your hands down to step back to downward facing dog. Once again, bend your knees to lift your heels. Lift your sit bones. Create fullness in your breath before reaching your heels down toward the mat. Come through to all fours position. Lower yourself down to the mat. Reach your hands back with the palms facing the floor. Lift your feet up. Lift your heart up, reach back, release your hands down, release your feet down, come back through downward facing dog, where you'll step your left foot forward, bring your back knee down, Reach up and slightly back. Exhale, take your hands to the mat. Step your back foot forward. Place your hands to your low back. Rise up. Take a wide stance now. Have your feet in this parallel position. Check your feet. Bend your knees. Take your thighs back. Reach your hands forward. So you're in this very wide stance, downward facing dog. You can just nod your head yes, shake it no. Just a way to get even more elongation from the weight of your head to expand and create more fullness, lengthen the neck. Walk your hands over to your right. As you do, start to straighten your left leg, but bend your right knee a little bit deeper. Exhale and walk your hands so that the left hand can be somewhere to the outside of the right ankle or right shin bone. Bend your left elbow, see if you can reach it toward the earth. Take your right hand to your low back and just come into the twist nicely. Release your right hand down. Come back to that wide stance, downward facing dog. Walk your hands over to the left side. Bend your left knee. Straighten your right leg. Take your right hand to the outside of the left leg. Reach your right elbow down. Take your left hand to your low back. Turn your heart toward the inner left leg. Enjoy this twist. Go deeper and longer in your exhale breath into the form of the twist. Release your hands down. Come back to the center position. Reach your hands forward, inch the fingers a little bit more so that you can enjoy the length as you exhale long in this forward fold. Walk your hands back toward your feet. Turn your right toes out. Lift yourself up so that you come to this form of Virabhadrasana 2. Reach your arms up. Now take your right forearm to the top of the right thigh. Take your left hand to your right ribs. See if you can lift your right ribs up. Keep that fullness on the exhale breath. Maybe a little bit more twisting there of the upper chest before reaching your left arm up and over your head. Just enjoy this nice length and maybe drop yourself a little bit lower in the pose. And root down to lift yourself out of the pose and release your hands down just so that you can turn your right toes to be parallel to the short edge of the mat. The left foot is now parallel to the long edge of the mat. Bend your knee, start in Virabhadrasana number 2. Take your forearm down. Take your right hand to your left ribs. Lift your left ribs up. Reach your right arm up. Reach your right arm over your head. Find fullness in your breath. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, release your hands. Heel toe your feet in toward one another. Bend your knees. Take your arms up. Some of us might want to even take our feet a little bit wider. We'll come toward a squat, or you can just take yourself all the way down to sit on the mat. Whichever way works for you. Find your way to the mat. Extend your left leg out. Take your right foot to the outer left knee. Now, if possible, maybe you can bend your left knee. But if you feel like the right sit bone is lifted and you don't feel balanced, then by all means, extend your right leg out. We'll come to a twist and let the power of the right leg draw the inner knee toward your left ribs. Come to the twist and take your right hand just to the outer ribs and get a little bit more twisting action. Now place the right hand by your pelvis, reach your left arm up, bend your left elbow to take your elbow to the outer knee, or take your hand to the outer knee. Just find fullness in the form of the seated twist that works for you. Maybe you can even take your gaze over your right shoulder. Now come out of the twist. We'll trade sides, so you can take your left foot to the outer knee. Your choice, you can have the bottom leg straight or take it in toward your pelvis. Draw the knee in toward the ribs. Maybe assist that twist on your exhale breath by pulling the right ribs into the twist more fully. Once you've got that, establish the left hand by the pelvis, come forward on your sit bones, reach your right arm up. Get fullness to the breath before bending your elbow to either take the elbow down or the hand to the outer knee. Find this fullness in your twisting action. Breathe in, and you'll have to kind of come out of the twist a bit on the in-breath. But on the exhale breath, see if you can go a little bit deeper. Try that one more cycle of the breath. Breathing in, and you back out slightly before exhaling and go a little bit deeper. Now come out of your twist to lie on your back with your knees bent, with your elbows pressing, palms facing each other. On the in-breath, lift your pelvis up. Keep a nice fullness in the upper chest. The in-breath is especially valuable as you keep a nice engagement of the legs. Draw your awareness to lengthening all the way from the heart to the knees. You find this fullness. And exhale, release your pelvis to the mat. Take hold of your knees with the palms right at your kneecaps. Press your hands into your kneecaps. You get a nice curve in the spine. Now, keeping the action of the arms, really pressing the kneecaps down, reach your knees away from your heart. Just kind of notice how that engages muscles that support the lumbar spine so nicely. You can move this side to side, keeping that lumbar curve. to massage the muscles of the pelvis. Come back to the center position. Keep that nice curve that you worked on and stretch your legs out. Release your arms to your side with your palms facing up and close your eyes. Breathe in deep and breathe out long. Just find ease in your breath. And softness in your facial muscles. In this practice, we focused on the expansion of the in-breath and how the out-breath allows us to go a little bit deeper in our forward bends and twists. Now that you're in this supine position, notice how the ribs move against your yoga mat. The expansion of the in-breath draws the ribs really wide. You feel so much more expansive, bigger. The exhale breath just allows you to release completely. Allow that tactile impression, the ribs moving against the mat, to be your metric of this expansiveness that the breath gives you. You breathe in deep and out long. You stay attuned to your breath in Savasana. Stay with this easeful in-breath and out-breath to dive deeper into Savasana. Namaste.